Now, this one has been requested by so many people that want to do a Thames boat, but can I do it by night? Well, for you guys, it is especially for you. So we're starting off at Westminster and we're going down to Canary Wharf. And the great thing about the start of this one is it goes straight across to there as the first station, which is the London Eye. So we've got the beautiful Westminster Bridge behind, but then as we go round in just 1 second, it's going to pull over, and then we should get a view of both Palace at Westminster and also the clock tower, which houses Big Ben, the Elizabeth Tower. Oh, let's just call it Big Ben. Just keep everyone happy. And it's going to go into reverse mode because it's literally going straight across the river and underneath the London Eye. Now, good news about doing it this way is with some of the lights you'll see that, and we're going to dive from side to side so you get the backs. By the way, that's the engines really revving up to get it over. So we're going across, but then you have the Palace of Westminster. And there you go, Westminster Bridge, all in green. And because it's a wet night in London, the rain is cascading beautifully. And that's interesting, the previous boat did actually stop there. Doesn't look like this one is. Okay, so as we go down, this is behind Waterloo. Behind Waterloo Station. And then you've got the Royal Festival Hall. And the next bridge that you have here is the Golden Jubilee Bridge, which are the two bridges either side of the railway coming into Charing Cross Station. Now here, we could just make out the Shard for the first time, but do you know what? It's in clouds. Oh, that'd be interesting as we get around there. We'll see that as we go around shortly. You have the South Bank over here, and every year that sets it all up for a market every year. There we go. Going underneath. And as we go underneath the Golden Jubilee Bridge, you've got the Royal Festival Hall. You've got that all lit up there on the South Bank. But then you have Waterloo Bridge. But behind Waterloo Bridge is the Dome of St Paul's, which we'll see in just a couple of seconds. Our next station is literally, our next pier is right by the side, running backwards. And that's really thrown up the water. Now, on a rainy line like this, you've got to watch the rain coming off the canopy, otherwise you get a shoe full of it, just like I've done. Anyway, here we go. We're now off. We've just left the embankment, and we're now heading down towards There you go. Now heading down towards Blackfriars and the Bankside. And one of the lovely things about travelling at night under the bridges is you've got all the different colours. And here we're underneath Waterloo Bridge, which is changing its colour as it goes through. There you go, you've got purples going into blues, going into all sorts there as we head down by the South Bank and the Queen Elizabeth Theatre, just behind these boats, which are moored right in the middle here. Now, as we cut round, we're going to come up down by Gabriel's Wharf, which looks like that's all lit up already. Looks nice. Just over there, those huts, all in the middle. And because the tide is out, we can't see it, but there's the beach down here at Gabriel's Wharf, which we've covered before. But what's incredible coming down this time of night is you've got all of the tour boats sort of moored and bang in the middle of it as we go through. Now, our next thing is the beautiful trees in Gabriel's Wharf, but also, as we come up, you've got the Oxo building, which, interestingly enough, is all lit up. Oxo. Then looking back, you've got the London Eye, but because the way the river bends round, we're almost behind it now. Okay, now we're heading over to the north bank of the Thames, and on the north bank we're coming up to the brand new Bazalgette embankment, which has been built, which we'll have a look at sometime soon. But more importantly, we're focusing on there, right in the middle of the picture, the dome of St Paul's Cathedral, looking over the Thames as we come up by Blackfriars. And this next bridge we're going under is Blackfriars Bridge. And again, with all the different colours, it's rather lovely. Of course, we had a video on that recently, giving you the views from Blackfriars Bridge. So under there you go, you've got a sort of a greeny blue taupe colour, and under this arch, it's gone red. It's a whole mix of colours. And then as you go through that, you've got the original posts that were left behind at Blackfriars Bridge, which we covered in that same video, and then we're going to the Blackfriars Bridge railway station. And then as we go through, we have another Uber boat on the other side there. On a Sunday, just give you frequency. So, just for frequency wise, every half an hour on a Sunday evening, and the weekdays about every 20 minutes. There you go. Now that's the City of London. If you're thinking that's out of focus, it's not. The cloud is so low, the top of the buildings are disappearing into the cloud, giving you that phenomenal view. As we go under the Millennium Bridge, which of course is the pedestrian bridge. St Paul's and the Millennium Bridge and the City of London. Certainly get that eerie feel as you go around Millennium Bridge. We're coming into Bankside Pier. So that's Bankside, which we've covered also on a video recently. But then you've got as we go underneath Southwark Bridge. So here we've got a view into the City of London. You've got Southwark Bridge and also the Canary Street Railway Bridge we've just been under, and this is London Bridge with the City of London just behind it, overseeing the beautiful nights of London with them flat clouds. It's giving a wonderful effect in that sky behind it with all the lights shining back up to the clouds. There's the lights on London Bridge all changing colour as well. Actually, we go underneath it and come into London City or London Bridge here. And of course, next it's
London Bridge.
Tower Bridge.
Anyone for the Shard? Borough Market, HMS Belfast, exit at the back. We're going to be exit at the back for London Bridge.
Just to confirm that is the bridge of the names. And as we go through now, coming up in just a second, where those two white buildings in tarpaulin are, the middle there is where the original London Bridge stood. We're almost bang in line. Pitch forward a bit more. There. So where we are now is where the original London Bridge stood all those years ago when it was first built until they built that one in the 1970s. Yeah. As we look down, we have Tower of London and Tower Bridge coming up shortly by the Tower of London Pier. So the good news is you can actually get out the back of most of the Uber boats unless you've got a really small one. As you can see, you've got a seated area, it's under canopy, and where I am, I'm certainly under canopy, and then we can kick out there, which we will probably do once we've got underneath the Tower Bridge, because I reckon everyone's probably going to get off at the next stop, which is on this side. But before we get there, let's get some amazing views of the Tower of London at night, which is just over there. That's where we're heading next, just before it. Now, before we get that Tower of London view, that's the pier, and then straight up, we've got a shard in the cloud. How about that? That's just amazing. Low cloud, the lights are back off with London Bridge Hospital right in front. Okay, so we're going to reverse out a bit, and we're going to go literally over to the other side of the river. But before we do that, we're going to go past HMS Belfast. Before we do that, we're going to get out into the water. It's lovely, and this is a wonderful walk to do at night down by the side of the Thames from Westminster Bridge all the way down to the Tower Bridge, which we're getting our first sight of now, all lit up as we come across. As we go out wide, because another Uber boat has gone into London City. But as we do that, you've got HMS Belfast. Let's look at the shard again, because that is wonderful. And then as we go across, HMS Belfast and Tower of Bridge just in front. But I've got a better view of Tower Bridge coming up after we leave the next pier, which is sensational. Sensational lights in the city bouncing up as we're coming into Millennium Pier next to Tower London. Okay, we're now off and we've left Tower Bridge Pier, and now we have the Tower of London, but we also have the fantastic lights of Tower Bridge. And we're going to go through the middle arch by the looks of it. Let's just give you that. There you go, the white tower looking beautiful. And also the other towers, I think it's the Wakefield Tower there. All the ones on the south wall, which we've covered in previous videos. And then we're going to go through and underneath. But the view to be had is after we've gone through. And what's interesting is the City of London has gone more cloudy. As it's disappeared, the lights are showing and it's gone under. Right, here we go. We're going now underneath Tower Bridge, which is all lit up, beautifully blue. But more importantly, the view that you get as you go under. And that is right from underneath. You can almost see the platform from the top tower. But as you go, you've got the City of London over there. St Catherine's Dock over here. But then...
Famiglia! Famiglia! Abbiamo
And you've still got the Shard in the shadows as we go around, and got Butler's Wharf as we go through. And the bit I love about this is any second now they'll put the engines on and we'll be off. Next and final stop, Canary Wharf. Butler's Wharf with all the restaurants and the free front there on the riverfront. That is the view to get, and it is worth it all for the trip as you go round on the Thames Clipper at night, and that is the golden shot. Well, how about that? Hope you enjoyed that. I'm in the dock. So, as we go through, back into the light. That's better. Hello. Hope you enjoyed that. That just gives you a trip through the centre of London at night on the back of an Uber boat. Now, you can of course pay an absolute fortune to do it on a sightseeing one. The great thing with this, you can use your Oyster card, your debit card, etc. It's all part of the river bus service, which goes up and down. And if you fancy doing it again, you can do it as many times as you like. You're just going to pay for it each time, but it's a good old riverboat experience. So I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. And we saw some sights there, didn't we? Some great London iconic sights, all lit up at night. Thanks so much for watching. I've mentioned a couple of videos on here as we've gone through. I think for me, I'm going to put a link up in the top right-hand corner, and I'm going to put one up of a beautiful place that we visited in the Tower of London. And I talked about it, the South Walls. So that video's in the top right-hand corner. Enjoy that. We'll catch you soon. Thanks so much for watching. If you fancy supporting us, there's a QR code coming up so you can buy us a coffee to help keep the channel going. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Bye.